Do you guys want to know the best Pokemon cards to buy right now for under $20? I'm going to tell you what I think, so let's get right into this. What's up guys, and welcome to the journey. If you're new here, consider subscribing if you like this video, or at any point throughout the video, including right now, go ahead and hit that like button if you find this video informational or if you get some value out of it. I'd really appreciate that, you guys. My name is Roger, and I have a list of cards for under $20 that I think are a steal right now that have some real future potential to gain in value. So let's go back to the end of 2020. We saw some really incredible price increases on some modern cards. Now, for me, I saw some real value and a real opportunity in the full art Marnie cards from Sword and Shield base. So I bought 7 of those at around $15 to $20 a piece, and those are now up to around $60 a piece right now. They are currently at PSA getting graded, so I cannot wait to get those back. I also saw a opportunity in the Sword and Shield promo Pikachu from that Galar Sidekick collection. Such an amazing artwork, and so I should have bought more, but I bought 2 of those boxes before they were sold out everywhere, and now those cards are worth about $50 a piece. And one more is I called the Pikachu V full art from Vivid Voltage. I thought that was really undervalued. It was around $25 to $30 when it was first released. Now those cards are around $80 to get. Unfortunately, I didn't jump on that one, but I mean, everybody looks like a genius right now, because everybody who's picking cards to go up in value, basically everybody's right, because everything is going up. So take my opinion, that's what it is. It's my opinion with a grain of salt. I want to hear what you guys think, what your guys' list looks like. So let's get right into it. We're going to start off with a card or some cards that you can get for under $1. Yes, I'm talking about the Charmander and Charmeleon from Evolutions, and the CP6, basically the Japanese version of Evolutions, which is the official 20th anniversary set. Charmander and Charmeleon from that set also. So my thinking with this, and I've never heard anybody talk about this before, so I'd love to hear some opinions, but those you can get again for under $1 about for like mint versions of those cards, raw ungraded of course. And I think it's worth taking, you know, if you can find a lot, and I've seen these a lot on eBay, Mercari, buy a lot of 15 or 20, 30, however many they're selling, if they're in mint condition or near mint condition. And you can usually get those for like 15, 20 bucks, usually about $1 or less per card. And it might be worth getting a bunch, and maybe there's 1 or 2 that are worth grading. The population report from PSA on these cards is pretty low. So I see a real opportunity there, because, I mean, if you think about it, when you guys opened Evolutions, especially, you know, when it first came out and the couple years after that, you probably threw those cards in with your bulk. You probably didn't put them in sleeves, so there's probably fewer real mint versions out there than you might think. There's definitely plenty of copies, but if you can find some that might grade at a 9 or a 10, it might be worth looking into that. So that's kind of my first out of the box one that I wanted to throw out there. I want to hear your opinions on those. I mean, if you can get those for under $1, I don't think it's outlandish to think those might be worth $5 or even $10 down the road raw. You know, I'm talking 5 or 10 years down the road. So that's my first one. Next up, I am going with the Amazing Rares from Vivid Voltage. I am a huge Amazing Rares fan. I think Vivid Voltage is one of the best, I don't know, 3 Pokemon sets of the last 5 years or more. I'm a huge Vivid Voltage fan. I think it's got some real staying power, and this is the first set that we see the Amazing Rares. I think the Celebi and the Rayquaza are definitely my 2 favorite, so I am putting my money where my mouth is. I've got 5 Celebis right now. I pulled a Rayquaza. I've got a Zamazenta there as well. But I just ordered another Celebi and another Rayquaza. I'm on a mission to get as many of those as I can, because I think right now, for especially the Celebis, those ones you're going to be able to find for around $20 or less, as well as the Jirachis around that price. The Rayquaza, you're going to probably be paying about $25, $30 or more dollars, depending on the condition and the centering of the card. That's my favorite one though, but The Celebi is one that I would definitely recommend, or any of the amazing rares you can find for under $20, because I've heard a couple places, including Twice Baked Jake, which I'm a big fan of his, Shining Fates might be the last time we see amazing rares. And if that's the case, I think these have some real potential to go up in value over the next several years when Vivid Voltage becomes a little bit harder to find. Next up, we're going to stay in Vivid Voltage, and I mentioned at the beginning of this video the Pikachu V full art, which I'm a huge fan of. I'm also a big fan of the Alakazam V. Now, the reason for that is, and one of the things I look for in Pokemon cards, especially modern Pokemon cards, is fan favorite Pokemon, and Alakazam definitely fits the bill. Pikachu fit the bill, which is why I predicted that one to go up in value, which it did. But the Alakazam V has kind of stayed at around that $10 to $15 price. Sometimes you can find those for even less than $10 or $15. So that one, I think it's got some potential for, again, future down the road when Vivid Voltage becomes harder to find. I really like the artwork on this Alakazam V full art, and again, a fan favorite card. It's pretty cheap right now. I mean, right now for a pack of Vivid Voltage, as of recording this video, probably paying $6, $7, $8 per pack because they're just so hard to find. You have to go to the secondary market to try to find a pack. So for a little bit more than a pack, or about what a pack costs, you can get an Alakazam V full art. I think it's a no-brainer right now, so definitely another card that I'm going to look at getting a few copies of. But let's go ahead and move on to a couple other cards, and this is another kind of out of the box one of mine is the full art cards from Rebel Clash. Really, any of the full art Pokemon cards. I think the artwork is amazing. Rebel Clash is extremely undervalued, underappreciated, and one of the things that I really love about the set is this is the first time we see full art versions of the Galar starters. We have Cinderace, Rillaboom, and Inteleon V cards, and you know, so many people got into Pokemon cards, including myself and my son, in 2020, and that's the introduction of the Galar region. And so those three starters, I think a lot of people are going to look back on really fondly if they're, you know, collecting 10 years down the road. They might want to get, you know, these starters. And the artwork is very unique, very cool artwork on those three, as well as there's a really nice Ninetales in the set you can find for about $15. There's a really cool Toxtricity and some of the VMAX also, but specifically the starters, which you can find all day long for under $10. You can find maybe for $5, $5 to $10, I would say, for any of those three full art Pokemon cards. I think that's a pretty good steal. So that brings us to the last one I want to talk about, are gold cards. The Colossal and the Galarian Berserker are probably the two that you can find usually for under $20 or around that $20 price range. So those are the two that you're probably going to be looking at. You might be able to find an Oranguru from Darkness Ablaze, I believe. I've seen those for around that $20 price. So definitely look, you know, it's worth searching. I got a Colossal for like $10 a couple months back. I'm still looking for a Berserker because a lot of them that I see have really bad centering, so I want to try to get one that'll grade a 10. But definitely around the $20 price range. Gold cards definitely are a really good buy if you can find them for under that price range. But yeah, that's my list. I think I hit on all the ones I wanted to talk about. I think I did that in one take, which I'm pretty amazed by with no notes. But thank you guys so much for sticking with me. If you guys could hit that like button again. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. Got a lot more stuff coming like this. But thank you guys so much. Make sure to leave a comment. I would love to hear and respond to all your comments that you guys leave because, yeah, I want this to be really interactive community, and I just love reading you guys' comments and talking to you guys. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. You guys have an awesome day. Be good to each other, and remember, we're all on this journey together.